Hello there, am I seen? Ay, 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 ay. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello there. Hello, everybody. Let me just wait a little bit here to see if this stays on. Because last time it stayed on and then it just crashed. I don't know if it's my software, it's not linking correct, or what's happening. I have the software. I am doing this through the software today because I want to show you some images. And normally I never do it that way. I just record the video and I edit and I put the images later. But this time I wanted to do this live. So I'm using the software that I'm not used to using. And you have to connect the camera to the software, let the YouTube know that you are using the software and not the webcam. And then you have to connect your software to the webcam. So all this has to link and connect and like read each other. So if one thing crashes, another thing in the chain crashes as well. Anyway, let's just wait a little bit more. And just really, I don't trust this. I want to make sure it's gonna stay on, okay? So before we do that, I mean, while we are doing this, sorry, I need to calm down a little bit because that's why I don't like doing these lives. I prefer to edit the videos and do it in a calm way because then I am not stressed, you know, I don't have anybody waiting for me. And if there are any errors, then I can do this on my own time. So it stresses me out when I have to do it that way because I want to do it correctly and everything perfect and on time. So yes, Fagu, thank you. I am back. Yes. So it seems it's staying on. Now I'm going to show you one image here. I want you to tell me if you can see it. Okay, I'm just gonna like go randomly. That one. Okay, I think it's seen. Yes, I just have to remove my head from it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So how are you doing? How did you like my last two videos about Yazhi and the story? I think they were quite important. Actually, I didn't even realize how important they might be for the people and for this whole story until I saw your reactions and reactions of people also in the Spanish channel. So thank you very much for your support and for watching those videos. And we continue. Okay, well, today I have several topics to discuss with you. Okay, let me just open because I had to restart everything. I had to restart my computer as well. So now I have to open my notes again. And I'm still shaking a little bit because I was rushing to get this to work. So first, I would just have a short conversation that I had with Yazhi about a silly topic, but that's why it's first. Why are we so gross inside? Like, why are we so complicated inside? I mean, our bodies. So we talked about that a little bit, then about time speeding up a little bit as well, because I was just asked this question for one of the interviews recently. Then we will go back to the Jesus videos, because after Jesus videos and astrotheology, it was mentioned that it's a solar worship. And then some of you were asking, well, what's wrong with the solar worshiping? Why can't the cultures worship the sun? What's wrong with that? So Yazhi explains that. And then some people were also asking, why is it that the exorcisms performed in the name of Jesus work? If there is no Jesus, so why those demons and astral entities escape from when escape from Jesus, when you proclaim his name? And also some notes about holy water. How is that working? How is that what is holy water exactly? Does it have any power? And then a little bit about reptilian agenda. I was asked this question recently as well by someone. Okay, and then Dale Harder, our friend, had a specific idea some months ago, and he presented that idea. I'm going to explain that idea a bit later to Yazhi, and then Yazhi responds. to that idea. And then at the end, we'll talk just a little bit about what if the possibility of what if what's happening on Earth and everything, the situation on the planet is actually for the greater good. Could it be possible? Could it be possible that the destruction of the humans that's happening could be actually the part of the plan and a greater ascension and awakening? So I'm going to tell you what Yazhi said on this topic recently as well. And a little other details here and there that will come up. Now, okay. So, okay, let me just organize myself here. Everything seems to be working. Okay. So, sorry, I am here a bit nervous because I have actually next to me my boyfriend, Matthias. And he's going to come and he's going to say a few words, but why and on what topic? Well, okay, this is something that I didn't really want to go into, and it's something that we have been dealing for a long time and from all kinds of people. You know, we have been talked about and attacked by many people in the Spanish world and in the English world throughout the years. And I don't really care, to be honest. I don't pay attention to that. I don't even know what's happening out there. If there is anything happening, it comes to me through the followers who ask me this and that. But I usually just do not pay attention to that. I continue with my work because I have just too much to do, and I don't stop. You know, as I say, at every barking dog that growls at us. It's okay. That's how it will always be. However, now there arose a situation in which Matthias has been involved, and that's why he wants to come in here and say a few words about this situation. And the situation is following very shortly before we go into the subjects. I wanted to avoid this for a very long time, but I think the time has come for me to make a short statement on this topic. And this is involving the character that some of you might know who is active out there, called Luke. Okay, Luke, the individual called Luke. Well, this is Luke. Can you see? This is Luke. Luke has been very active in forums and in groups and in many places for a very long time. And he has been examining this case and examining this contact, asking questions. But there is something not quite right here about what he's doing. I'm not going to go into the details, and I wouldn't even speak about this if, again, Matthias wasn't involved recently. Well, Luke has, I think it's his, I don't know exactly, this Discord group called Taygeta Talk. And in that group, there's all kinds of conversations happening. I don't know because I'm not there. I don't follow. I really don't have time. But it has reached us just recently that there is a conversation developing in that group that apparently involves Matthias. In other words, there is a fake Matthias there, and who knows where else, who apparently is out there to reveal the truth and to unindoctrinate me. So I just want to state this is a fake Matthias. If anybody is in that group, please, I would recommend even get out, but you decide what you want to do, of course. But do not pay attention to any fake profiles with the name of Molon Labe, because as you can see there, Molon Labe, that's supposedly Matthias. That's not him. And Matthias, if you want to say it in public that it's not you, come. Yeah. Welcome. As you can see here, Luke is saying that that Matthias, who is our buddy, will help us indoctrinate his girlfriend. Where Matthias is not Luke's buddy or anybody's buddy, and he has never spoken anything negative about Taygetans. So we have to come closer. So because you are we like holograms here. Sorry, this software is not working so well. Okay, so Matthias, what would you like to say about this subject?
Yeah, I just had a statement written down.
Okay,
So I'm
read
just
it.
gonna read it. Yeah. So hello all.
How about the closer?
Yeah.
I disappear. Oh, this software is really sucky. Oh my gosh.
Second. Okay. Hello all. I feel I must address the following issue. There are certain individuals who try and has been trying to undermine Gosha's work and use whatever means necessary they can think of to do that. These individuals have been undermining Gosha since she started this contact with the T's. In the past, Gosha has been forced publicly address certain individuals who has openly attacked Gosha for a long time. The reasons for calling those individuals out in the past was to let people know and not to believe into their lies. So now I have been personally dragged into this as well. So I want people to know the real truth, and I want to expose those people who have been proven to be behind the latest attacks done in my name. So an individual called Luke has been talking in his own Discord channel, channel that he actually banned me from a long time ago, since we banned him first from our forum for violating the terms of service. So he was talking with a username called Molon Labe, and
Supposedly you.
supposedly me, and Luke is telling that it is me. So we had the screenshot that Gosha just showed, and actually, well, you already saw the screenshot, but yeah, it says, everybody say hello to Matthias, boyfriend of Gosha, who is our buddy and will help us to unindoctrinate his girlfriend from invading malevolent ETs who pass them as Taygetans. Hello, Molon Labe. Okay, do not believe these lies, that Luke is telling. It's all part of this information campaign, purpose to take down Gosha and her work. And FUI, I'm not his buddy. Never will be. I want to state that I will not be talking on any platform publicly. I will not be anywhere else except Facebook and on our own forum with my own real name. My aim with this message is to the point is that do not believe everything that you will hear unless it's directly from someone from the real team. So like face to face, like from me or Gosha or whatever. There is so much misinformed agents out there posing as as before. There has been like Dorkala and whatever. So do not believe these people. I do not know why they are doing this. So much effort, day by day, just wasting energy on this thing, telling these lies and trying to destroy this project and this work. I guess it just shows that the cabal and the federation, that we are actually doing some dent. So they mean to bury us, I guess, any means necessary. So my point just is that if this information doesn't resonate with you, you can just walk away. Just walk away. So that's it, And I'm saying this once, don't tread on me, or you will be publicly called out. That's to Luke and everybody, his little friends, and whoever's watching this. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Matthias, very much. Yes, he's right. There's always going to be people who will be trying to find flaws in this contact and try to, expose it for the lie that they believe it is. However, I am just completely not concerned because they will never, ever, ever, ever be able to find anything because this contact is real. So everything they will ever find is just more confirmation that this is real. And the only reason why we are talking about this now is because Matthias' name was dragged into this, and he's very much, into integrity and his name not being, dragged through the mud. So he's just stepping up for himself and stating, this is not him. This is not him. So do not listen ever to anybody stating anything. And another person, I didn't want to mention that either because I don't like to talk about other people really. So quickly, another person you have to watch out for is Angel. He has been in contact with the Taygetan team for many years, but eventually what made him lose his contact is exactly now what you can see in many of these groups. He has been, one second, he has been, sharing supposedly private conversations that he had or we had with the Taygetans, everything taken out of the context, altered, changed. Again, he's on some kind of a mission to expose, I don't know what, because he knows this is real. So just be careful with those two individuals. And that's all I would say on the subject. Okay? Okay. Let me see, everything is working here. Yes. Thank you very much. So now let's continue to the next subjects, because there are interesting things to talk about, and this is the real core of my work, to share with you all the information I can about anything possible. One second, I'm just going to close the door. Okay. Everything seems to be working quite fine. Okay, well, the first subject, let's get to the interesting stuff. I always feel very, very strange about our physical body. Like, why is there so much ickiness in our body? And why is our body so, let's call it, gross inside? Why couldn't we be made, with some kind of like stuffed animals, with something easy and something, much more pleasant to manage? And Robert also feels the same way. And we had these conversations about this and about our organicness, a biological body. Why are we so messy? Why couldn't we be designed in a different way? Why there is such a complicated biological growth system inside? So where did that come from? Where did that come from? And well, Yazhi is explaining here. Well, she's not 100% sure exactly. She told me that she hasn't given it much thought, actually. But she's saying the following. That complexity of our physical body, because remember, what we are on the physical level, it's a reflection of something from beyond, of the patterns in the etheric side of our existence. So she's saying that complexity is probably the result of a very complicated energetic being reflecting all its self below. So you can imagine how complex that self is in the higher realm, reflecting itself and its energetic structure below. Also, she's saying another point is that a human or a Lyrian body is not one being, but a colony. We are a colony of beings. The real units that compose us are the cells, not the whole that we see. Each one of them, of those cells, holds consciousness in itself as a person, as an individual person. And adding them all up, you have a whole body where you, as the one from above wearing it, becomes like the government to them, like sort of a god. But she says she's never really thought of exact why we are so complicated and gross inside. Why couldn't we be just made like stuffed animals? But yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that it's just because we are reflecting the complexity of our energetic cells from above. And she's also saying that many species are actually a lot simpler. It seems like the Lyrians and many others, of course, are more complex. But for example, greys are basically essentially walking plants. They are walking plants, biologically vegetables. And she's also saying that some so-called reptilian races are mammals. They only look like reptilians, such as Yautijas, Kingu, and Usungal, but they are not true reptiles, as the Dracos are. The Dracos are the original reptiles. So that's what it is. And greys are not birthed. They are grown in pods, like plants, in a greenhouse. that's just a fun subject to start this live with. So that's it. These topics, like, they are too small to share in a separate video, but I still want to share with you, as these are curiosities. Oh, please speak more slowly. I am recording. Okay, I will try to speak a bit more slowly. Also, there is going to be a bit of reading today. I'm going to be reading some of these answers. So as I read, I can speak a bit more slowly. Okay, now the next topic is about why is time speeding up? This was actually asked by Alan from the online Circle of Light, I think that's what it's called, radio show in Ireland just recently. He wanted to know why is time speeding up, and it seems that it's just going so super fast. And here, what we have at play, as Yazhi explains, is the principle of dominant frequency. Simply as that, which means that the more we run as a society, and we do for the last decades, everything became so fast. So in that case, we are immersed in this human consciousness collective soup, where everyone is in agreement of perceiving things in the same way. So as we collectively start to perceive time in the same way, or nearly the same way, because it will never be exactly the same, so we will be influenced by that collective consciousness perception. So if the time is speeding up for the collective, then we will be influenced by that as well. So she's saying, so everyone is being influenced by that collective consciousness perception, and simply by being so immersed in it, in the average frequency of perception, you end up perceiving time as the same. Dominant frequency principle. So even if you are living your life in a calm way and you are not rushing, the dominant frequency principle on Earth in the last decade is very fast. Everybody's rushing. No one has time for everything, for anything. That's just how our culture has been evolving in a recent decades. So that's what we are feeling. And she's saying you can escape that perception. You can remove yourself from that dominant frequency principle collective feeling. It just takes a lot of energy and commitment on your side. For example, meditation. In meditation, you remove yourself from that collective time perception. You enter your own bubble reality. That's why Yazhi, being in her own time perception, even grows in a different speed, in a different velocity than other Taygetans, because she's not influenced by that collective Taygetan time perception. So it's possible for us to achieve that as well. However, she's saying that even if you achieve to be calm and at ease, the time will still feel like it's flying. But it's not your perception. It's just that you are tuning into everyone else's perception. It affects you. The collective perception of time, it's affecting all of us. Okay. So that's what she said on this topic of time speeding up. Now, let's see if everything is okay. Everything is okay for now. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, thank you very much. Now I'll be showing some images here with this topic of sun worshipping, because in a Jesus topic, we said that it's actually solar worshipping. It's astrotheology, the whole Jesus story. And then the people were saying in Spanish and English channels, what's wrong with worshipping the sun? Why can't sun be worshipped? What's wrong with that? So Yazhi here explains, nothing bad in solar worshipping in itself. Countless civilizations have worshipped their sun on Earth and in other solar systems. So it's not just here. And here she's saying even Taygeta that is not called Taygeta by the Taygetans, by the way. They call it Moma, Moma, which means mother. Moma in Taygetan means mother. So they call themselves their civilization after their sons, Taygetans, Momans, Momans, after their mother. And that is solar worshipping as well. So they are named after their son or the mothers, because it is a feminine inclined matriarchal society. So there's nothing wrong intrinsically with that soul worshipping. The problem, she's saying, on Earth is that solar worshipping objectively means Akhenaten and Nefertiti's version of it. Atonism and all what comes associated with it. It means the cabal, control over the human population, slavery. Thank you, Lumina, Gabriela, very much. But then she says, but then in this case, it gets even worse because the dark cabal, now this is going to be interesting, the dark cabal and the name atonism does not refer to the sun as in the star, but to the black sun, Saturn worshipping and Satanism, as seen in these examples. And here she's showing some images from Star Wars. Imperial symbols, Star Wars, very revealing of the exquisite and rich of symbolism found. Okay, very revealing of the exquisite and rich symbolism found all over the series. Wait 1 second, please. Okay, the image, no. Oh my gosh, images 1. Yes, well, that one, I think I think she means this one. It appears in Star Wars, and also look at these symbols. What are these symbols? The SS, the SS symbols, Nazi symbols. It does not mean secret service. It does not mean secret service. She's saying people always mistake the SS meaning secret service, but they are forgetting that this is not in English, because secret service in German, that's Geheimdienst, nothing to do with SS, which in reality means black sun, schwarze Sonne. That's what SS is black sun, Saturn worshipping, and Satanism. That's what SS is. So this is getting very, 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 very complicated and very deep here. She's explaining, 1 second. Okay. She's explaining that they always work in duality. Always work in duality. Always black hats against white hats, where atonism is the white hats and the black hats are the Satanists, the schwarze Sonne. Okay, so here I'm confused. So atonism is the white hats. So in that sense, there will be a good guys. And she says, well, that's what they are making everyone think. But essentially, they are the same thing, obeying the same masters in my mind. And based on facts, their real actions. Because you know someone by their acts, not by their words. So based on their real actions, the facts, they are one and the same. Just always moving in duality. So that's just a little note on that topic of black sun and atonism and solar worship. Okay. Bear with me, this is the first time I'm doing this way through showing you images during the live. But I think there's going to be no more images, so I can just focus on explaining this to you. Okay, let me check in on the chat very fast. Thank you, Carlos, very much. Thank Thank you, everybody in the chat. Okay. Well, the next, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the chat right now. Okay. I'm just looking at my notes. Okay. Next topic is about exorcisms, because people were saying, well, how come if Jesus is not real, then the exorcisms work? And it seems that the demons escape when his name is mentioned. The archons or astral entities or whatever, they seem to be retreating when his name is mentioned, or when the person is sprayed with holy water. And Yazhi, well, she just responded, do they? Meaning, they seem to be retreating. And she said, do they? But then she said, more expanded answer. And it's really very simple answer. And you'll see that it's just common sense. She's saying that using Jesus' name is simply a tool to empower people. So they believe they can face the demon or whatever entity. And therefore, they can. If they have a belief as strong when using as a potentiator, because these are tools, potentiators of your manifestation powers. So if you are using a little frog statue as your potentiator, it would work just the same. It is not about the symbol in itself. It is what it means for the person. What it means for the person. The power is not in that symbol. It's not in the object. It's not in the priest. It's not in the Jesus. It's not who is doing the job. You are doing the job. You are activating that self-healing and self-protecting power within yourself. So Jesus only works as within you, as within a person. You give him strength. This is you activating that. So she's saying this is just another example of how people really manifest their reality based on their beliefs. And she says humans have no idea of the power they have. That's right. So it's your own high frequency that repels their beliefs, that repel, because as you are, when you are using some kind of, like she said, potentiators and tools, right away you are attuning yourself with the higher frequency in your mind, because that's what it represents to you. It represents to you a higher realm, a higher protection, higher strength. So you align yourself with that. You invoke that. You invoke that within yourself, but it's you who is doing that protection and that fight with the so-called demon. So that's what it is. And then we were talking about the holy water. And I said, what does it even mean? What makes water holy? What does it even really, truly mean? So she says, again, it is the meaning people give to the water. That's on one hand. But then she says, however, in the case of water, it does have a memory. So if you are giving it a meaning with, for example, a ritual, which is basically concentrated intention with a strong belief, you do charge the water with a high vibration or a lower one, depending on how it was programmed. The water has memory because it is basically ether in low state. Water is ether in low state. So holy water does have a scientific objective proof to it. Yes, it does hold a very high frequency when programmed that way. But you can make your own holy water at home the very same way, and it works just the same. And especially, I wouldn't trust the one made by the priest or in church or whoever, because I don't know who programmed it and with what intention. So do not give that power to them. You yourself have the power to sanctify your water and charge it with that high frequency. Because here, yes, exactly, I said, but then again, how do we know what's the frequency of that water really and who charged it? So no, thank you. And she says, yes, in the case of a priest, yes, no, thank you. but you can make your own. But here I'm asking, sorry, my hair is falling into my head. Here I'm asking, but in that sense, if water can be charged with a higher frequency, wouldn't anything contain that frequency? A plant? My shoe? Or is water something special to contain that frequency? And she says, everything contains a frequency, of course, but some things are more programmable with a frequency intention than others. So crystals, quartz, stones, and water are the best frequency intention things to program. They are the best things to program. Place a bottle of water, glass bottle of water, next to a speaker and play Vivaldi, Mozart, for example, although that's very subjective, and treat it with love, and there you have your holy water of your own making. She's also advising this. Place a symbol on the bottle of water, something positive, a word even, like love, abundance, peace. So you will also be programming it positively. And she says, avoid long sentences, just basic words with a strong meaning. And here I'm asking, what about tomato soup? Would the tomato soup work too? And she says, well, yes, you can, as it contains water. And you can program your body as well, as it's mostly water too. I said, how do you program a body? And she said, you do it all the time. All the time, every day, every moment of your life, we are programming our bodies. How? With your thoughts, especially what you think of your body, respecting it and thanking it for its existence. That's how you program your body. That is made of water, and water is one of the most programmable substances out there. So it's very, 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 very interesting, I would say. How are you doing in the chat? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Enoch. Naughty Beaver is here. Hello as well. Thank you, Quantum Dimension, Angel Light, Electric Boy. There are some people who are following us, following me from Spanish to English. Spanish, they're everywhere. Thank you very much for your ongoing support. And Bernd is here as well. Thank you very much. Now we'll continue with the next subject, which is a question that someone sent me. I cannot say who, even though I would like to give a credit, but I cannot say who. Thanks, Matthias, for being in the chat. So this question came to me from someone anonymous, and it's about a reptilian agenda. And he wanted to know if anything changed about the current reptilian agenda. How is that really standing? And if anything changed at all from what people in our community typically speak about. Are they still heavily influencing the earth? And if so, in what way? With what corporations? What families? And if they are not as influential, then this person wanted to know who is stepping in and with what agenda. Okay, well, this is a very interesting question. And again, we have been saying this already in videos about reptilians. There is just too much focus on reptilians as the cause of the problem. And Yazhi here is stressing this point again. Yes, they exist, but they are not the root cause of the problem. So in her words exactly, she says, everyone is placing too much attention on reptilians. That is reflecting the mentality of the community. Yes, they are there. And yes, they are a problem for humanity. But they are not the larger cause. They are just one level players. Okay, but let's not get stuck on that layer too much. So she's saying they are just another level of the problem, just another level of the control mechanism over Earth. It's not like the reptilians are all in control. They are just another species, another society inside the 3D mess of Earth and intertwined, intermeshed with the human collective. So it is not the case to fight them as the cause of the problem. They are also trapped in the same situation, suffering their own social problems and injustices, which doesn't mean I am defending them, she says. I am not defending them. They are, in general, very regressive in thought, not emphatic, problematic, power drunk, narcissists, but then so are most humans, especially those with some power, especially those in power, especially those in the cabal levels and the ones who are dominating this society. And she continues, they have always influenced some families on earth, those in power, royalty, and other people, whenever they are useful to their intentions. Whoop, my hair. So nothing has changed in that regard. Nothing has changed there. But as soon as humans realize their situation, and we talked about the human unconscious, collective unconscious, and all that, as soon as they realize their situation and their power, the reptilians will not be an issue for them. They are not the cause of the problem. The reptilians are just another level of a complicated exploitation chain and system on Earth. The real problem and the root cause is the mentality of the humans as a collective, what I've called the human unconscious. And here she's going to say a sentence which she said was one of the most important phrases she has said recently. She says, and the real problem and the root cause is the mentality of the humans as a collective. And from that point, the humans have fallen into a trap of their own making, getting in their reality their own reflection, the manifestations of their innermost fears and problems. And from that point of human collective unconscious, chaos is from where the Federation decides to allow all happening on Earth as what the humans want. And more about this whole topic, deepening this specific angle and this specific Federation angle in a very near future detailed video on the Federation and its role within human affairs. And from that point of human collective unconscious, chaos is from where the Federation decides to allow all happening on Earth as what the humans want. I'm not even going to try to go into this right now because it is very complicated, and I'm not even going to touch the fullness of this topic because it has so many layers, so many things to explain, that this is going to be another video, another live, even probably it's going to be a video and then me summarizing main points to make sure you understand everything the way I perceive it. Sometimes I don't want to come out with my own comments because I don't want to impose my own interpretation on how you probably understood certain information. But maybe I will add something to this topic with my own thoughts. But anyway, from that point of view, okay, it's from where the Federation decides to allow all happening on Earth as what the humans want. So it is the humans who need to evolve mentally, spiritually, and ethically. And then their problems will start to dissolve. And she says, I want this to be super clear. One of the most important phrases I have said recently. Thank you, Yazhi, very much. And thank you, Yazhi, very much for the recent conversations that we have had on the topic of the Federation. Yes, I'm working now in detail on this topic, even though we have made detailed videos about the Federation, but it was about a year ago. Yeah, time does fly. So it was about a year ago Some of you, maybe you are new to the channel, so you may not have watched those videos. Just go to the website svaru.org and type in Federation in a search. You can search all the transcripts with the terms, any words you want, okay? And you will see all these transcripts and the videos regarding the Federation. But I want to understand it even more, this topic. So I am torturing Yazhi recently in a way. I'm saying it, not really torturing, but we are going into this in depth about the topic of the Federation because it's so complex and I'm still wrapping my head around certain aspects. But it's going to be a very interesting and very important video, and you will understand much more about the whole structure of Earth control and Earth management. I would say Earth management, which can be viewed as control on the other hand. But remember, the major controllers are ourselves, are our own minds and our collective unconscious. That's the root base of it all. Anyway, let's continue. I wonder if Dale is around. I sent him the link to this live, but I'm not sure he's around because the next topic is involving him. The next topic is about a certain idea he had recently, well, some months ago. And he presented this idea to Yazhi, and he or she is responding to that idea. The idea was, well, Dale is a scientist. He's a metaphysicist as well, but he is quite technical as well, as you know. And he had this idea, well, why don't you give us, me and many other individuals around the earth at the same time, the technologies that could help the humanity and propel it forward? And this way, if all of us have this at the same time, these technologies, we can start working on them and they can't take us out. All of us, it's worth trying, and there's nothing to lose. So, well, nothing to lose. It could be dangerous for them personally, but in a way, there's nothing to lose in that sense. Well, anyway, so he suggested this idea to Yazhi, and to be honest, she got even a little bit annoyed with that question, because I think they have been through that many times, trying that approach. It's not a new idea. It's not something revolutionary. Them and many other races have been trying this already for many years, doing and leaking and filtering information and technologies to people, and it has always turned against the humanity. Actually, it has always benefited the cabal. And now I'm speaking with my own words, but now she's going to respond herself. The cabal needs to be removed first. The cabal needs to be removed first. There's no point filtering those technological secrets to the people, really, if the cabal is not gone. So she's responding. If we could, we would have done that already. And we have already done that. And it only made the cabal stronger. It becomes theirs. We cannot give anything to anyone. We only feed the problem. So I cannot give Dale, or even bunch of Dales, plans for a toilet without him getting arrested in the next 24 hours, and I'm serious. They would end up discredited and even attacked. We've done that already, and not only us, countless others. We don't really need that sort of plans. We have been all over them for decades now, and all we do is feed the cabal. She continues to say, did you know there were water generators in each house in the late 1800s? Those could supply enough electric power to light up the entire house. Where are they now? With tap water, same installation. People don't know they existed. And that's over 130 years ago. It is set in such a way the structure on Earth. It's set in such a way that anything we give out ends up being a great achievement of some great tech company or ends up in a file cabinet in DARPA. And the people we gave it to serving a sentence in Leavenworth. I'm assuming some kind of a prison. I don't know what Leavenworth is. But here I'm arguing, I am presenting the argument. But they can't arrest 50 people at once, spread all over the world, if you give certain technologies to 50 people at the same time. And she says, yes, they can. You are saying, but this, but that, as if we haven't realized that fact. Countless good races have been added for decades and only made everything worse. As we have said before, the cabal must be removed first. That is the only way. Say I give Dale those little water generators, old tech, by the way. The power company will arrest him because that's against the law, because they hold monopoly over electricity. And it is a complicated legal mess. I know aeolic or solar are allowed, but that is only if you use their approved systems. And also turn in your excess power into the grid. If we could do that, we would have already done it. And many times we have done it with disastrous results, like that wingless Russian plane. Rats, she says, rats. That's a direct ripoff of a shuttle like the ones we have been telling you we have right here in the hangar. Some months ago, I made that video with the mini topics where I showed you that Russian wingless plane they have revealed somewhere in some kind of exposium of new tech and some kind of a Russian company. But that was coming from the Taygetans. Long story how those Russians got their hands on that. So that was basically your response to Dale. And thank you very much, Dale, anyway, for your passion and for your ideas and for your dedication, because, many people nowadays feel like they are useless. They want to help. They want to do something. They want to feel like they are contributing. So I understand Dale and his feeling of frustration. And, he wants to put his technical mind to use and do something for this society. But unfortunately, yes, he is very clear on this. This is not the way. That is not the way exactly. Okay. So that was that topic. I'm looking at the chat, but just scanning it, just out of curiosity. I have the last topic for you here today, which is regarding the global situation right now, and could it be actually something that is for the greater good? Because some people have been suggesting that, and I know those theories are floating around out there suggesting this. But let's take a short breath. I know that I'm speaking a lot and I'm speaking fast and I'm changing fast from one topic to another. Okay, thank you very much, everybody in the chat there. How do you like my flower? It's nice. No, look at that. Oh, it's like magical. Look at the, oh, the petals are so nice. It's a magical flower. Okay, let's continue. Thank you very much, Yo. I know, it's a beautiful color. I love that color as well. Yeah, the background is very nice. It's just that it sometimes makes you transparent in certain locations, certain points. Like when Matthias came, we became ghosts, basically. All right, let's continue with this topic. And it is a very important topic. That's why I left it for the end. It is a topic regarding the current situation. And Again, this will be addressed more and in more detail in a video about the Federation. But basically, you know, there are these questions and theories and ideas out there that what is happening actually, and I have to be very careful how I phrase this, because how I phrase things so as not to be censored, okay? Because, okay, you know what I'm talking about the current the shots project and all that. So, as you know, it eliminates people, right? They terminate their cycles of life. I have to speak very metaphorically. Let's call these the treatments, blood treatments, whatever. Those shots will be called treatments. Okay. So, as you know, those treatments are very dangerous for our human race, and a lot of people will be leaving this plane and leaving this Earth planet. So there are theories that state that what is happening is actually for the benefit of the humanity, as it is eliminating those unwanted portions of the humanity for the real ascension to happen afterwards. So I'm going to just read you a short paragraph. This is taken from our forum on our website. We have a forum, and there are all kinds of discussions there. And someone posted this. I'm sorry, I don't remember who posted this. For the ascension to happen, all the unreal people need to be eliminated, as those hinder any and all progress on the planet. And it is right. I'm just reading. This is some kind of idea out there. And it is right that the current fakeness happening in the world was introduced by the Federation to allow for an elimination to rid the planet of these unreal people and of those lost souls who are irrevocably trapped in the reincarnation loop here, of which they will get freed as soon as that treatment removes the connection between their body as soul. And this is visible. As is visible, this procedure must be known to all the ETs out there, because none of the assisting ETs prevent the current situations, because they're not, despite this being easily possible and legally allowed. So here this person is saying that because the ETs are openly not preventing this situation from developing, so they must be aware of this plan, and it's probably some kind of a higher dimensional, higher cause plan for the humanity. So could it be that what's happening is actually for the positive, removing unreal people and removing other weaker matrix souls so they can go away, leaving the planet for the higher frequency people so they can rebuild this planet into the true holographic 5D society? So I raised this question and this topic with Yazhi, and the answer is actually quite simple and quite strong. And actually, we have made a video about this as well. The video was about if souls from the higher planes have orchestrated this exit, then are we in the right to try to stop it? Something like that. I don't remember the title exactly of the video, but it was something about that. So Yazhi is responding this way to this theory. She says there are two problems with this approach and with this perception of the situation. One is that it makes people passive again, not doing anything. Because again, you're going to be led to believe this is for a higher purpose, this is for a higher cause, and you're going to be doing nothing to try to prevent this. So, I don't know. It makes people passive again. It makes people not react. It makes people not defend themselves. Because they're going to believe this is all positive, what's happening. We just have to suck it up, and in the end, we're going to come out of it in a better way. Thank you very much, Bent. So two problems with this is that one, it makes us passive, again, not doing anything. And then she says, two, even considering the possibility of this scenario being the case, the point that it all comes down to this point, that it is still highly unethical and cruel. Many people suffering, people losing their jobs, their lives, their families, businesses, not only not real ones, only rich ones surviving. Because for some reason the spiritual and rich doesn't coexist here on earth. So simply collateral damage is too great and is uncontrollable. It's simply too unethical. So this, even if that was the case, it will look like it's done by a calculated and cold, unemotional race. Andromedans are cold and unemotional. I wouldn't say totally cold and totally unemotional, just not as much. So she says, who gives them the right to decide over the others who lives and who dies? So she says, no matter what reasons and excuses and justifications and higher plans, it is still a mass assassination. And she says, it sounds like another hopium, disinfo, or simply, even if not that, it is simply non-ethical, and we are not standing by that kind of approach to the problem. So then she says, yes, not assuming I know everything, I can't say this is not possible. But even if that is so, I would still be right about ranting against the Federation, as she accuses them complices for the omission of action. For the omission of action. And I'm specifically talking about this specific treatment situation developing on Earth. And more about this in a video about the Federation. So she's stating, this is simply unethical, no matter what cause, and it's plain cruel. I stand by my words. And this would be like, imagine you have an animal shelter and you have all kinds of old crippled dogs and cats there, and you just want to rebuild it. You want to rebuild it, make it more luxurious, and have different types of dogs there. Maybe this example is not exactly the same, stupid, but I came up with that. And you just want to rebuild the place. Okay, you have this higher cause ideas of rebuilding or whatever. But then, okay, how are we going to do this? We have to get rid of what's there right now. So we're going to put a bunch of explosive in there and just and explode the whole place. And whoever dies. That's collateral damage. And we're going to rebuild this on only the strongest one, the ones that survive this. We don't care about the rest who's going to suffer. And their mothers, the dogs separated from their puppy dogs. We don't care. We don't care, because we have this higher vision of rebuilding the place. So what she's saying, this is still not a way. This is cruel, unethical, and involves too much collateral damage and too much suffering. So that's their position, and she stands by her words. But more will be understood in that video about the Federation. You'll see how this whole system, how it works. So I definitely, this is my position as well. And also, if you add to this passive shedding or whatever, that new theory that is floating around, if you add to this that's happening, then it makes this whole theory lose its ground as well. Because then it's not just unreal people or some matrix souls or whatever being removed from the planet, but it may affect all of us. The star seeds are suffering. The star seeds will be affected. So it's not that simple. No. And yeah. Now about this topic of the passive situation. Now I have asked them to look into this and to examine this if it's real, if it's actually something that is true, and is it really happening. And yes, he said that everything points to it being true. However, they really cannot know for sure because there's only so much they can research from up there. I mean, yeah, to really research this, they will need to have a subject, or they will need to have some kind of a biolab exactly on Earth to be able to assess this in detail. But right now, Alahi, Senetra, and Eridania, I think they are looking into this issue. So if I know anything more in the future, I will tell you. But for now, they say, well, she said it looks like it, yes, that it could be true, but they just cannot know for sure yet. And also, you need to know that your immune system has a lot to do here with this. That immune system has a lot to do with defending you against those exosomes. So it may not be exactly the same as the treatment reaching you directly, but she just wasn't certain 100% how to exactly respond to this. Biscuit, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So she's saying, we at this point, who knows tomorrow, because remember, they're always gathering new data and approach and revealing new information. Who knows tomorrow? But at this point, we do feel that the immune system does have a fighting chance against those exosomes and probably will take them as an infection. But we cannot know for sure yet. Okay, remember, they are not on Earth, and they only have a limited, sometimes a limited methods of how to examine certain things, because they need to take samples. They need physical samples. They are not magicians. They cannot just know just like that. Okay, so thank you very much, DE. Thank you everybody. Now I have gone through all my subjects. It went faster than I thought. That's good. Around an hour. And I just want to say at the end that we have a new person who has started talking to Yazhi. And I know we talked about Lena some time ago, but Lena is more anonymous. But this new person, and it's a man, I think he will be coming out and sharing his experience. I might even bring him on the channel. And he also has a YouTube channel. So he might be sharing that there as well. I must say that it was not his idea. It was not our idea. We don't connect people with them, really. They don't take on any new contacts. It's just that you understand more when we reveal that person. But it was basically Yazhi requesting to just say hi to that person. And they had 2 chats. And it's really amazing. Can you interview John Lamblash? I don't really interview people. I have so many videos to make that I am that I am too overwhelmed with my own material right now. Oh, I see you have some ideas about who it might be. Oh, is it Rich? Is it Jean-Claude? You'll see. I have to wait. I want him to say it first. I know he already has Yazhi's authorization to reveal it, and he will. But he's a really cool guy and very tuned into this information. So it will be interesting. Can you interview Naughty Beaver? First of all, like I'm saying, I don't really interview people. I have too much of my own information to share. And I don't have time to look at other channels, look at other people. It's not that they don't have value. They are all doing their work and contribution. And thanks to all of you, Starseeds, doing your work. But I just don't have time. And besides, Naughty Beaver, from what I know, doesn't get interviewed by anybody. You see, Robert, you asking me this question. I am actually thinking of making a live, but not on YouTube. It would be on another platform like Twitch, for example. Robert makes lives there every time there is something delicate to talk about. So for these types of questions, like you just asked me, maybe one day I will go there and we can talk about these subjects freely without any censorship. And it would be good if I could invite Aneeka as well. However, Aneeka has been away these last days. Aneeka has these tendencies to overwork herself and to overburden herself with tasks and duties and online work. So she goes and she works hard, and then she becomes so tired that she needs to disconnect again for a few weeks. So she has been away for a few weeks now. Thank you very much, Sirona. Bye. Adios, Sirona. Thank you very much. We are finishing anyway here. I'm just looking at the questions if I see anything there. Thank you very much, Mick, for being here as well. A lot of hugs to Mick. Well, if there are no more questions, I hope you enjoyed these mini topics. I think this is how I prefer to do these mini topics now because it's more time efficient for me. Yes, Seventh Thunder. Aneeka, take a break, but she doesn't take breaks, really. Okay, so remember what we talked to you about in the beginning of the video. If you haven't watched the very first minutes of the video, first 10 minutes, where Matthias, my boyfriend, came and shared what he had to share. Thank you very much, Mandy. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. It's important. But let's not give it any more attention. It's been said, it's been declared. And that's that. Thank you very much for being here with me. I'm glad that it didn't get cut off this time. And I'll see you in the next video. And the next video that I'm working on is on soul looping. Okay? Very, 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 very interesting metaphysical deep subject about how actually souls operate. What is a soul? It's not some kind of an entity that just travels from one body to another. When you die, there is like this ghostly kind of an orb looking thing, and it just travels from one body to another. That's not actually how it works. And yes, he will explain why she actually hates the word soul. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. So you'll understand why. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Roar. Also, see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, my flower. Bye.